I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but Heather could not stream into um, a her page, a group page, for a Bible study yesterday. So I don't know what's going on with Facebook.
I think there's some Facebook updates that I'm not quite sure, how to address yet.
So this is the thing, just real quick. If you do a Zoom cast, it sometimes is in conflict with a Facebook Live. So the Facebook Live, if you're doing the live, you can also do a group live. And I think there's some competition there. They may be making it more exclusive, I think.
Have you been able to do a group live recently, like with more people? I haven't been able to do that for a while either, where I couldn't call somebody into a live. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with Facebook.
We're going to have to get on the phone with Zuckerberg. That's it.
Yes, but we are recording. And so take it away, my friend.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Vitamin C, your cure to complacency and your immunization with community. So, whoa, dude, that was crazy. So I want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. It is so good that you guys joined us. We're having a little challenge with getting this to stream live into Facebook. And the reasons we're doing this recording is so that everybody will have an opportunity to kind of contribute. So just understand that it wasn't purposeful that we didn't give you interactive ability into Mission Possible. We had to record it and then set it up. But we welcome you who are here. You guys are great. And I know that everybody's got busy lives, so we can get started. So I wanted to first talk a little bit about what our ground rules are. So when we come into this community, there are some things about it that are really unique. Number one is it's voluntary. You don't have to be here, but you choose to be here, right? And that is tremendously helpful to building this community up. So that's wonderful. And when you come on these calls, it is so cool to see your faces, and it is so cool to hear your victories. That's amazing. Okay. I want you to also understand that when you come in, we're bringing who we are and the uniqueness of who we are into the mix. And that is refreshing because it's not scripted. This is like off the cuff. We're just talking and kicking it. And we're talking about things that are important to us. One of the things that I wanted us to talk about tonight, but again, the ground rules are if you choose to participate, you can. We would love for you to be a part of the conversation, but you don't have to be. But I would love to engage you guys in conversation because that's what makes it really cool. We are talking about women's health and its connection to Mother's Day. And how many of you guys that are on the call right now got a chance to check out Jamil and Amanda's the video that was on the resources this week and last week too? All right, just to highlight it real quickly, they were sharing some of their own experiences in this journey, and Amanda was really vocal, which I've never heard. I didn't even know. All I ever see is Jamil, right? I never see Amanda, but Amanda came in and she was sharing her story and sharing a little bit about her experience on this journey as well, and balancing home life and health, because that is a challenge for most moms. Yeah. Put a 1 in the chat if you as a mom have had difficulty balancing work life, home life, and your life. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's almost like there's no separation between those. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'd like us to chat about first. Well, later on tonight, but let's talk first about what the victories were and what did you celebrate for Mother's Day? How were you celebrated? I'd love to go around the horn and check you guys out, because I can't really participate in this more than being a moderator because I'm not a mother. Who wants to go first?
Oh, go ahead. Who was going to say?
I'm going to say fighting for it. I love it.
Let's fight for it. Let's go.
Go for it, Tam. Go for it.
Go ahead, Tamara.
No, I spent the day with my daughter and my grandson, and we just spent the day hanging out. We got some food, we cooked at home, and we went out for a while, and that was about it. Just kind of kicked back and relaxed.
So relaxing was the main focus.
Yeah, I just visited. Yep.
And that's cool when the kids get to do that for you, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What do moms traditionally do in the family? Are they always giving?
Yeah.
Like, are they always setting things up? Are they always providing stuff for the family to do? Are they always making the meals? A lot of times they are, right? I mean, we live in the 21st century, so let's be real. So there's some home dads. There's some guys that hang out at home. I think Eddie's one of those dads that hangs out at home, and he's been a big part of the girls' upbringing, right? There are guys who are representing, but for the most part, mom tends to be kind of the glue. And they gave back to you today, right, Tam?
Yes, they did. They did. Had a really great time. Talked to the one grandchild that wasn't here, and it was just really nice.
So cool. So cool. So that's a great win. So any other wins in your health journey?
Oh, me or somebody else?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, hey, or anybody else. It was Teacher Appreciation Week, and we were just, I guess appreciation equates to food. Did I partake in some of it? You bet you. All of it? No, but I did some, but I didn't gain any weight or anything. But yes, I did partake in some of it, but it just like, it would be really nice if we could equate appreciation with something else. Like, I don't know, someone watch our class and give us an extra half-hour break. But, oh, well, but it was fajitas and, what was it? Funnel cakes and ice cream and, okay.
A heavy Mexican theme, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Funnel cakes? Oh my gosh, man. Look out.
And, well, of course, the day, yes, I did. I did not have the pizza. I did not eat the bundt cake with the artificial flavoring, whatever. I did have some funnel cake and ice cream. And yes, it was good. And the next day I was just back at where I belonged to, So you can celebrate. You can have something once in a while, as long as it wouldn't be every day. I would not recommend funnel cakes and ice cream every day.
But you made choice.
You're also in optimization, right, Tamara?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I am.
Yeah.
However, if I start slipping up, I'll be back on 5 and 1 too.
But people ask me all the time, will I ever be able to eat the cake again? Well, thank you for
Yes.
giving us some hope that yes. And
But your taste for stuff like that is going to change, and you may not always want it. It's like, ew,
that's
so
a win too.
Yeah. So yes, you will be able to, have the cake again and the ice cream again. If I had my choice, it would, if I had to choose one thing that I could always have, it would be ice cream. I know, Donnie, you're like that too. But yes, you can have it again, but you just change so much that you don't want it all the time. Like I had it the other day. I don't want it now.
Isn't it better to want to get to, and to choose to?
Yes.
Than to have to?
Mm-hmm.
And must, right? We've talked about that over the last month. We've really kind of reinforced that. And that's the part about this. You empowered yourself to make those choices for yourself. You can do and you've got a structure to fall back on that allows you to take your control back, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
And the one thing I wanted to jump on, Tim, and kind of share is that, in element 16, Dr. A talks about, there's an assessment where you can find out how addictive your personality might be, right? And the awareness of how addictive your personality is allows you to hold on to your power. Because if you happen to be like someone like me, where I know that I have a highly addictive personality, one bite, I've never drank alcohol, but I would assume that I would be down a really big rabbit hole if I did, right? And so I just can't take that first bite. I can. If I choose to, I go down that rabbit hole. And if I choose not to, then I hold on to my power. And so it's important for us to be very, very aware. I'm here, not here to say that you can't. Listen to me clearly, okay? Hear my heart. You absolutely can, at any point of your journey, eat whatever you want. But there's so much power in saying, I love the way I feel right now, and I'm not going to surrender that power back over to circumstances and foods and all of the things, right? And so props to you, Tamara, for enjoying and celebrating and eating a little bit and getting back on track.
But it wasn't eating. I was always a stress eater. I remember being stressed about something, walking in the kitchen and eating a candy bar and wondering why the heck I was eating it. But now this was not stress. This was just, hey, that looks good. I'm going to enjoy it today. Would I want it today? No, not now.
Awesome.
Awesome deal. I love the celebration. So what are some of the other things that you're celebrating today on Mother's Day? It can be your health journey. It can be your place in your family. Go ahead, Donnie.
Well, I was sharing a little earlier that this is a very, very big week in my family because there's graduation, anniversary. It was my 25th anniversary. It was my kids' graduation from 8th grade, and both of their birthdays is tomorrow, and today is Mother's Day. And so it's like within 8 days, we were celebrating almost every single celebration of the year, which is such a great blessing in our family, right? But in past years, it has been a really, really, really big challenge for me to stay on track this week. And this week has been not even a blip on my radar. I am completely committed and solid. And so that is a win for me.
Absolutely love that. I think that there's an old saying, the devil's in the details. And it's almost like you can take so many good things and cram them into one space. And it's just the sheer chaos of all of that can really almost take away from the enjoyment, right? But that's where the balance comes in.
Right.
When you're grateful for all of that, it's easy to be able to say, you know what? I'm going to make sure I just go with the flow because you know what? I'm celebrating. And I didn't go off track. And that's a celebration in itself because guess what? You could have.
I have in the past. I have.
You absolutely could have. And used that as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't.
Right.
You go, girl.
Yay to me.
Yeah.
And I love what Tamara said. I wish a celebration didn't have anything to do with food. Well, let me tell you what. A little bling is nice celebration.
Absolutely. You see, now look, I don't have my man anymore. He died. Donnie, why don't you have Mission Impossible? We should bring total health and find people, men or women, whatever they want.
All right. Hey, listen, she done dropped the gauntlet. Let's go.
Let's go.
So listen, I want you guys to do me a favor. Put in the chat what your wins of the week are because we're running on time here, and I want to honor time today because I know you guys got still got a lot of family probably hanging out, and you want to go back to them. So I want to honor your time. Put in the chat what your win this week was, and specifically, what was your win today? Because today is a day when moms across the board, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, they are being celebrated. And it does circle around food. What is your win of the week? Rini, so far, no chronic disease. Hallelujah. I love it. Anybody else?
I already told you mine.
You did tell me.
Sorry,
yours.
Tim. I was starting to type. So I was in the chat instead of being able to get to my buttons. But anyway, for me this week, I had an injury. Well, I had a couple of injuries. I got ran over by a horse and yeah. And I've got bruising all over my chin and a big hematoma on my leg. And in the past, anytime I would ever hurt or, kind of be aggravated or frustrated, I'd want to binge eat sugar. So, I didn't do that this time. It was like, okay, yes, I might hurt. Yes, I'm wearing extra makeup that still didn't cover it. But, I have a horse show coming up this weekend and I want to look good in my show clothes and I want to feel good. So I didn't do that. And for Mother's Day, I've been kind of, I'm missing my mom. But what I did is my mom always loved to cook. And so I am smoking a pork loin on the smoker. I fixed up some chocolate chip cookies for the dogs. I know you're not supposed to feed your dogs chocolate, but my dogs get a little and they love it. And Denny, because and I didn't get into the batter and I've not gotten into the cookies. So yeah. And I've been doing really good with my water. And that is something that I've really been working on. So for me, there's been some struggles this week, but I pursued through. I didn't let it get to the best of me.
Rini, that's a tough act to follow. You got run over by a horse and you're talking to us now.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, it happens, right?
Yeah, it does.
Lady, you're awesome. You're awesome. So the other ones in the chat, Donnie put in, Pat put in, I planned several healthy options for my daughter's birthday party and got to enjoy and share. Excellent. Great choices. Today, once I made the rounds for all the moms, I was tempted to get busy with life, but I decided to disconnect and do nothing but hang with my family and watch TV and visit. That's awesome. And that's a challenge, right? Is trying to that balance. We talked about at the beginning, that work-life duty to family balance. And that seems to be a big challenge, especially for moms, because you guys are the schedulers. Honestly, I'm not trying to stereotype. You guys are the schedulers. You are the binding force when everything is flying apart at the seams. You are usually the voice of reason, unless you have a big flip-flop or a wooden spoon. And then, of course, sometimes you got to break out the big guns. But there is there's this thing about motherhood that it's a calming influence, and there's a sense of security when you know that mom is there, right? But here's the problem that can arise. Sometimes mom doesn't have that feeling of comfort and security because she's too busy doing that for everybody else. How many of you can relate to that? This was something that was brought up, actually. It was touched on in Amanda and Jamil's video that they did, the spot that they did for Monday night. And they took 3 women who had very different approaches, including Amanda. And they were talking about how their families, they became lost a lot of times in the whole process of being moms. And there was no time for them to carve out for themselves. And they found that when they started this lifestyle, this was the one thing that they could take for themselves and say, you know what? I'm doing me first, but I'm also taking care of my family by taking care of myself. And that was really kind of the synopsis of it all. What I wanted to do is I wanted to ask this question, and let me just see what Felicity put in here. Yeah, Felicity, you got a lot of life going on too, girl. I decided to bit stress and just enjoy packing up my house with my hubby, packing myself as we transition to Oklahoma. Oh, the life of a pastor's wife. God love you. You see more of the country. Yes, check out the heart. She knows, right? And I've never heard enjoy and packing be put into the same place. Never. That is awesome. That is awesome. Melissa says, I had an enjoyable Mother's Day, and I haven't always due to not having a real close relationship with one of my boys and my having higher expectations than I should have. Today, I kept my expectations really low and appreciated having my breakfast brought for me for the first time and celebrated with my family after eating. That's wonderful. And you know what, though? This is the thing that I think moms do naturally. It's like they put themselves in a place where everything else is first. Everybody else is first. And I don't know if that's not such a good thing to do at times, but you can't do it all the time. There has to be balance that comes out of this. And I put in the chat, I put a question I wanted to pose to everybody, and I would love to hear your feedback on this. What is the one part of your health journey that has changed your family by legacy? The one piece that you have been able to affect in your own health journey that has now flowed back to your family in a big way. Does anybody have that perspective? Because if you don't have it right off the bat, we can think about it. Where were you before you started this health journey?
Well, Tim, it hasn't really affected my per se family, but it has definitely affected me in breaking the chain of not having chronic disease. You know, so far, you know, I have just when I get stressed, I'll get a little mild hypertension, but not severe. I don't have diabetes. Knock on wood. I almost hate to say it, but I've avoided the C word. And so breathing issues and things like that. So for me, breaking the chain.
There it is. That's legacy, right? And here's my question to you, Rini. Were the changes that you affected in your own health, is that an example that people are looking at? Do they see that chain that's broken? Because they may have seen in the greater sense of the family, grandma, mom, grandpa, dad, whoever, aunt, uncle, they've suffered from these things. Maybe they're lifestyle related, maybe they're hereditary, maybe they're a combination of both. But by changing some things, you've managed to really avoid the chronic illnesses that really plagued your family. That's a huge legacy. Now you got to stay out from underneath the horse.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, please don't go under the horse anymore. That's not a good place to be. Trick
We need
ride.
to add that to the habits of health. Stay out from under the horse.
Absolutely. Most definitely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody else? What has your health journey done for you that has now become a legacy project for your family? How do they see that? How has it changed things? Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, I put a couple of them in the chat, but my daughter just turned 24. She has a lifelong passion for cooking and baking, loves food. She actually works with a chef making gourmet chocolates. So, you know, there's a lot there, but she understands that we we just don't keep big bags of Hershey's Kisses or big Costco boxes of Hershey bars in the fridge. We don't, or in the pantry, we don't snack on chocolate in the middle of the day every day. And she's on the autism spectrum, so she's very literal. And she says, you know, we have ice cream sometimes, not all the times, not every day. Maybe 5 no thank yous and 2 yes pleases each week, or 4 no thank yous and 3 yes pleases, but not 7 yes pleases. And she was one of the she was the reason last year, you know, about 14 months ago, I quit spending my leisure time just, you know, fiddling around with a free online game, like building a little like city, like
Sims?
it was a different game, but yeah, same, you know, we're at the gym now, or we're at a park. We're out and about. She loves getting her steps, and we do that together. And like she's very committed. And it's you know, I'm really glad that she's embracing those ideas at 24 instead of 55 like I did.
Now those changes started with you though, right?
Yeah.
So now what I heard you say is the structure you now thrived under, you now pass that on to your daughter.
Yeah.
And it's reaping benefits, not only in her health, but you also reclaimed some of that time together too. See, the benefits can, when you really take time to be intentional with what those changes have done for you, you start to see the value that just goes right through the family. It's just amazing. Donnie?
Yeah, coming from a pastor's family, I come from a long lineage of heroes, and then I became a nurse, and it's just ingrained. It was ingrained in me that everybody else is more important than me or what I want or what my family needs, right? And I feel like this program has given me an increased awareness on, no, taking care of everybody else may not be good for everybody. And that I do need to take care of me so that I can then take care of mine, and then I can help other people take care of themselves. So I don't have to take care of other people. I can help other people take care of themselves, right? And I feel like that has been incredibly liberating for me. And I hope that what it's done for my family is, my more immediate family, is for them to learn that we don't have to hero anybody else. We don't need to fix the problem for anybody else. We can only worry about ourselves. And in worrying about ourselves, we can then have the strength and energy to then help other people to take care of themselves. And that whole mindset that people need me has gone to the wayside, and that's incredibly liberating.
I think that is a perspective that doesn't always happen unless you step outside of what is going on and take a real objective. And we talk about this with the health assessment, right? What is your current reality? In order to look at that and actually see that, sometimes the things we see are not always the things that we see that we want to see. In fact, we kind of look at it and say, no, that can't be. But maybe it is. And it takes a measure of courage to say, I want something different for my family. I want to give them 100% of me instead of 25% or even 15%. Because how much better is life now, Pat, that you can go out and hang out with your daughter? That she doesn't have to be married to the kisses in the fridge or wherever you were keeping them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, for our long-term health outcomes, it's huge. And we're out in the gym together several times a week. We're meeting people together. Her community is getting bigger and more robust. More people know her and are invested in her because our lifestyle has changed.
It's amazing. We tend to be very, we get very siloed into our own lives, but we don't realize how incredibly inspiring what we do is for other people. And that's a lot of times we completely overlook the fact that people are watching us, not creepily, although sometimes maybe, I don't know, but they're watching what we're doing. They're watching the changes that are happening. I saw Melissa had posted a picture of herself, the before and the after, and it's striking when you think about it, man. It's like, where was I at before and where am I at now? And some of the stuff you can see visibly, but you don't see what the inside is like. The inside is kind of reflected on the outside. And a lot of times our kids, that's all they see, right? They see what's on the outside. They see the reactions. They see the frustrations. They see life kind of, and then they kind of look at us and say, well, what's wrong with you? What's going on? But this is a point of conversation. We can include them in the conversation by showing them that there's results that can happen from little changes. You don't have to take on these big, huge things and get frustrated. You can take little changes and really change your family's outlook. I mean, it's amazing to me that that we have this all or nothing mentality a lot of times, and we carry it into our families. We really do. We don't, and it's unconscious a lot of times. Our kids have society's kind of given them that attitude too. We can change that legacy for them. And health is the hardest one because food is so centric to everything that we do in the family, isn't it? We equate such good times with just pizza parties and things like that. And it's good. Believe it. Listen, bread's not bad. People get into this mindset of bread is bad. Having a cookie is bad. It's not bad at all. It's a neutral action. It's a choice. And when we teach our kids that through our own example, we're teaching them moderation. We're teaching them to be in control. We're giving them the opportunity that the rest of society is not giving them, right? And I love that when they can see what's happening in your lives. You guys are so important to every part of your families. And this is your day. This is your day. And I loved what they talked about. Go back and check that video out, because those women each had a different experience. They were losing themselves in some form or fashion. They were losing their handle on their sanity. They needed to get out. They needed to move. They needed to exercise. They just needed that little piece carved out for themselves. And then what happened was they included their kids in this process. Their kids were looking for different things. And mom said, no, this is gone. Just like Pat, push the kisses, the chocolate, all of this is, we're going out. We're gonna change the way that we approach things. And guess what? The kids will hum about it. But when they see that there's actually a payoff to it, they start hanging out and they start appreciating it more. And you guys deserve every single bit of accolades you get for the day, because you guys do amazing things. I wish my mom was still around so I could tell her how amazing she was. You guys are still there and you're still present in your families, and you're there even more now. Why? Because you decided to change things for yourself and become healthy. Mind and body, right? Any closing thoughts? Because we went over again. Dag nabbit. Any closing thoughts? All right. So put in the chat, when we post this up, what was your biggest gift for Mother's Day when it comes to your health? And what was your legacy point? What was the thing that you, from your journey, you can now share with your family? Because that's going to be really important. People are going to look at that too. And that's why we got vitamin C, and we have Mission Possible, is to share these cool things. Okay, you guys can take yourselves off of mute and say good night. And I want to thank you guys for coming on.
Good night.
Kim.
Good night.
Have a great
Thank
evening,
you,
ladies.
Kim.
God
Happy
bless.
Mother's Day, everybody.
Felicity,
Mother's
don't
Day.
enjoy packing too much. I'm starting to worry about you.